Hello there, and welcome. You've arrived at the quiet edge of your day where the world slows down, where the noises fade, and only the softest stories remain. Tonight, let's take a gentle step into the past, into the flickering candlelight and creaking floorboards of a Victorian home. Not the grand estates with lavish banquets and gowns, but the quieter, humbler homes where daily life moves slowly, shaped by gentle routines, long afternoons, and quiet, unspoken traditions. So settle in. Let your breath become soft and deep. Imagine the comforting scent of beeswax polish, the distant clinking of iron tools, and perhaps the rhythmic swish of a broom against wooden floorboards. The air is still, the light is golden, and the past awaits. Let us begin. The day in a Victorian household often began early, especially for the maid of all work, or the housekeeper, depending on the size of the home. As the soft morning light filtered through lace curtains, cool and pale, the first sounds of the day were hushed, the click of a latch, the quiet lift of the kettle, a gentle sigh as coal was placed in the hearth. Fires needed kindling. Coal had to be carried from the scuttle in the yard to each grate in the home. This was a cold task in the winter months, with fingers red from the morning chill. The hearths were the heart of each room, and lighting them was like waking up the house. The house would begin to warm not quickly, not entirely, but with a slow, creeping comfort. Laundry day was often Monday, and it was one of the hardest days of the week. Large pots of water had to be boiled on the stove, filling the kitchen with steam and the faint scent of soap, carbolic or homemade lye, harsh but familiar. The copper boiler would hiss gently, and garments were stirred with a wooden paddle. There was a rhythm to it. Dip, swish, lift, ring. Whites were scrubbed on a washboard, the corrugated metal clinking softly under knuckles. Stains were beaten out on stone slabs in the scullery. Yet there was peace in the repetition, in the routine that echoed across generations. Once the laundry was out to dry, pegged on lines in the yard or draped across wooden horses the morning turned to polishing. Brass fixtures, door handles, fire grates, all needed a careful hand. A soft cloth dipped in vinegar and flour would be rubbed in circular motions. The gentle squeak of linen against metal filled the quiet. Dusting was constant. Victorian homes had many possessions: curios, figurines, photo frames, vases. Each had to be handled delicately, cleaned with feather dusters or slightly damp cloths. It was a patient task, one that required care, not haste. By midday, the heart of the home, the kitchen, came alive. Bread was often made daily or every other day. The gentle crinkle of flour sacks, the soft thud of dough on a wooden counter, and the creak of the oven door marked this time. Water for tea was always kept warm. A small tin of loose leaf was opened with care. Brewing was almost sacred, the smell of leaves unfolding in hot water, the warmth rising from the china pot. It was quiet work. No rush, just the peaceful clatter of crockery and the low murmur of the kettle. Afternoons were often for floors. Wooden ones were swept with long bristled brooms, then scrubbed with soapy water and a stiff brush. There was a rhythm to it, a push, a pull, a pause. Rugs were taken outside when weather allowed, slung over lines, and beaten with woven paddles. It was a strange sight. Perhaps a cloud of dust rising into the quiet air, but it brought freshness indoors. Inside, the scent of soap and beeswax filled the hallways. Once dry, laundry had to be pressed. Irons were heated by the hearth-thick, heavy things with hollow insides for embers. They hissed when touched with water and were tested with a flick of cloth. Linen was folded with care, stacked neatly in drawers scented with lavender or herbs. Everything had its place. A well-kept linen press was a source of pride. Rows of tablecloths, chemises, sheets, all quiet now. As evening drew in, so did the curtains, heavy, velvet or wool, drawn slowly across the windows to keep in warmth. Candles were lit, lamps trimmed, ashes cleared from grates, and fires coaxed into a last comforting glow. Chairs were straightened, slippers set out. The soft swish of a mop or the dull clink of crockery marked the end of the day. In the hush of the evening, everything felt wrapped up, as though the house, too, was ready to sleep. And now the house is quiet. The chores have been done. The cloths are folded. The fire is low. There is peace here in the slowness, in the simplicity, in the rhythm of a day long past. You are safe. You are still. Let the sounds fade. The soft wind through the old glass, the last creaks of floorboards settling, the distant hush of nightbirds outside. Sleep well, dream gently, and we'll return to the past another night. Good night.